That is a pretty good, exciting thing. We also just had the opportunity to do a groundbreaking at a new Buc-ee's and First location in Arkansas. So any day you get to wrap up the legislative session and open a Buc-ee's is pretty fun. So we're excited to be here and proud to stand with so many of our amazing legislators who have done a phenomenal job and mark the end of another great session for the people of Arkansas. I want to start off by thanking my staff. I tell people all the time that I have the best team of any governor anywhere in the country. They literally work around the clock. They're as smart and talented as anyone who have ever held their roles. And most importantly, they're genuinely good people who love our state and serve with integrity. I'm proud to work alongside them every single day, and I want to give a special shout out, and I hope that there are cameras recording because I don't do this enough. In fact, I pick on them more often than I praise them, but that's only because I like them. Special shout out to Schaefer, Jamie, and Selby, and also their spouses who have put up with a lot. We don't actually know if they even still like you guys because they haven't seen you in so long. And also to our entire Leg and Policy team, Rachel, Josh, Blake, Sarah, Jack, Nick, Morgan, Catherine, Ken, Courtney, who's an unofficial member of the Leg staff, and last and certainly but not least, Jack Fortner, who we are very glad to have back at the Capitol with us this week. I also want to especially thank Senate President Bart Hester and Speaker Brian Evans for their leadership. They have done a tremendous job navigating a few personalities here and there, and have really just done a great job leading each of their teams and helping our state to come out much better than where we started. We could not have done a lot of the amazing things that have taken place over the last several months without you, without your leadership, and I'm really proud to work with you and call you both friends, so thank you for your great leadership. I'm extremely proud of the number of great wins that we have had this session. First and foremost, and I know I just said a lot of nice things about the legislature, and I fully believe that, but it would be hard not to brag just a little bit that the governor's office, second year in a row victory in the 3-on-3 basketball tournament. I had to find a way to work that in. I didn't bring the trophy out, so I felt like that was a step in the right direction. We're certainly proud of that. Despite a handful of thrown elbows, both literally and figuratively, this session has reinforced that Arkansas's conservative majority is delivering on our promises to the people of this state. We started big with Arkansas Access, our plan to improve opportunities for all students post-high school. We knew we needed heavyweight support, so we went to two of the biggest legislative leaders there are, Jonathan Dismang and Matthew Shepard. Thank you for your leadership to get that across the line. We reduced complexity, increased scholarships, expanded resources, and got woke nonsense off of our college campuses. The result is going to be more Arkansans getting more education and taking more of the jobs we know will grow our economy in the 21st century. I had the chance to work with Senator Tyler Dees and Representative John Eubanks to pass one of the most comprehensive phone-free school plans in the entire country. We have all seen how big tech has abused our kids. Anxiety, depression, suicide. They have doubled and sometimes tripled among our young people because of unrestricted access to smartphones and social media. That's why we're getting phones out of schools and giving our kids the freedom to learn in an undistracted environment. Thank you for your work on that. Working with Senator Missy Irvin and Representative Aaron Pilkington, we invested $45 million in maternal health and made it easier for low-income pregnant women to get care, something I'm very proud of our state coming together to do. In a bipartisan compromise effort, we, alongside Senator Dismang and Senator Clark Tucker, made Arkansas the first state in the South to offer free school breakfast to every single one of our students. And we repurposed medical marijuana funds to make this program and summer EBT sustainable long-term. With the help of Senator Davis and Representative Maddox, we passed a new state employee pay plan, raising 2/3 of state employees' pay and giving double-digit raises to men and women like our state troopers, our corrections officers, and our social workers, something that has been a long time coming and wouldn't have happened without the work of this body. I worked with Senator John Payton and Representative David Ray to ensure only citizens vote in our elections and keep Arkansas ballot boxes the safest and most secure in America. And with Secretary of State Cole Jester and Senator Cam Hammer to end petition fraud and protect the integrity of our elections and our Constitution. And working with members in both chambers, we championed Arkansas Impact to grow our energy output, lithium development, and new industries like data centers. This has been called the most significant economic development legislation in decades, and it will only help us keep breaking records, like how we were the fastest growing economy in the nation for 2 quarters in a row. As busy as we were here at the Capitol, we unfortunately faced a series of severe weather events that seemed straight out of Exodus, rocked our state. In March, I was in Cave City, Paragould, and other communities to see the damage from a tornado outbreak that killed 3 and destroyed homes and businesses across our state. Just a few days after, wildfires broke out around Arkansas and required a massive deployment of our first responders. And just last week, I was in Hardy to visit an area that has lost an incredible amount to once-in-a-generation flooding. While I was there, I heard the story that would make any Arkansan proud. As the rain fell and the floodwaters rose, 4 local law enforcement officers braved the waters in a small boat to save a man stranded in an RV park. The water was so high that none of those in the boat knew where they were going. They literally pulled out Google Maps on their phones and piloted the boat along the flooded roads. They rescued the stranded man, and 2 of the first responders drove him to safety, while the other 2 had to stay behind and wait to be picked up. As the water continued to rise, they were told no one could get back there, and they might be stuck. But the sheriff who was driving the boat refused to leave his men behind, so he drove the boat back, despite the enormous danger to his own personal safety. The sheriff made it to them, but on the return trip, just as they neared the shore, the boat hit a fallen tree and capsized. All 4 men were now in the water, one getting trapped under the boat for a full minute. Volunteers desperately threw lifelines to the men, and somehow, by the grace of God, all of them managed to grab a rope, get pulled to safety with just minor injuries. Days like that are some of the toughest I have as governor, but they also give me strength because of how many other people in how many other places would risk their own lives to save the life of a stranded stranger. That's the Arkansas difference, and that's why I'm so proud to be the governor of this state. In just a few moments, I'll sign some of my final priorities from this session. We will finally eliminate the state grocery tax and return $10.9 million to the people of Arkansas. That's on top of the 20% cut to the state income tax we've delivered in 2 years since taking this office. That is a huge, huge deal, and that is all thanks to this group of people gathered here today. We will put enhanced penalties on violent criminal illegals and make sure our state is not a safe harbor for violent illegals. We will continue our record as the toughest state in America on our communist Chinese adversaries, banning them from owning land, partnering with our cities, or selling merchandise to state government. We'll give moms and dads the right to sue big tech companies that harm their kids, and we'll revise the Social Media Safety Act so it can go into law quickly. And we'll protect the Buffalo National River for generations to come while eliminating income taxes on disaster relief for our farmers showing that conservation and agriculture can go hand in hand. But today isn't just about one bill. It's about the people that we serve and standing up to the powerful special interest who tried to stop us. We went after big tech companies exploiting our kids, big drug middlemen manipulating drug prices, big government subsidizing junk food at the taxpayer's expense, lobbyists working for adversaries like China, woke faculty trying to indoctrinate our students, and the far left that wants to coddle dangerous criminal illegals and threaten our elections with petition fraud. The most popular phrase, no doubt, around here for the next month is going to be sine die. But I think there's another Latin phrase to describe this legislative session. Arkansas state motto, regnat populus, the people rule. For too long, our government has been enslaved to powerful special interests. Not anymore. We do not work for them. We work for the people of Arkansas. In this session, we delivered. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for helping us get the hard work done for the people of our great state. It's an honor to work alongside you, and I'm almost looking forward to the next one. Thank you all so much. And with that, I'll turn it over to Senator Hester. Thank you.
Well, I'm super excited that we've got wrapped up, and I'm just thankful for looking around all the senators that are here and all the really great work that we've done. Like, look, what we work on in the Senate is not are we going to pass great conservative policy, but which ones are we going to pass and how are we going to pass them, how are we going to implement them. And that was our struggles each day. Like, we're going to do the things that we committed to the people of Arkansas, and we did that, and we delivered. You know, I think back to with the human trafficking stuff we did, that's going to make a real impact on the people of Arkansas. I've said since the beginning of session that I want to be the hardest state in the country on people that are involved in human trafficking, but I also want to be the most loving and reinforcement to those that were involved in human trafficking from a victim standpoint. And I think we've took Arkansas in a step that direction. I'm excited to say that Arkansas is not always at the back of the pack on things. Like, we're leading on so many great issues. Governor Sanders just mentioned it there. Like, after this session, there's no way that we are not the most secure elections in the country. There's so many things that we are leading on now. I love it that we're doing so great on our outdoor recreation. We passed a lot of legislation this past session that's going to be affected by that with the tramways. It's coming to Mena, Arkansas, and Bella Vista. That's going to be such a huge win. I think we passed some what I believe is much needed regulation on windmills in Arkansas. We could look up and our natural state could be taken over by these things that I don't think hardly any of us want to see. I'm very glad to see the governor will be signing that legislation in the next few days. But I just want to thank Senator Gilmore and Senator Dismang, all the endless hours, all the fights, all the things that we did working on the budget and the heavy load that they carried to help us be successful. And with that, I can't wait till we answer a few questions here in a minute. But Mr. Speaker, well done on your first session. I'll hand the podium to you.
As I stand here today, I believe that the people of Arkansas should be proud of the representatives, both in the House and the Senate, that they sent to the Capitol this year. Time and again, our members put politics aside and focused on the needs and concerns of their constituents back home. Over the past 94 days, they have worked long hours, often late into the night, with a shared commitment of doing what's right for the people of Arkansas, the people back in our districts. And because of the efforts of so many of our House members and our friends on the other end of the building in the Senate, this session has been a resounding success for the people of Arkansas. Together, we've taken meaningful steps to improve maternal health, ensuring that Arkansas mothers have better access to care and to support. We've passed legislation to protect our children from the growing dangers of social media. Thanks to our colleagues that have championed this over the last two sessions, we've created a safer and healthier space for our children to learn and to grow. We have invested in education across the board. By banning cell phones in schools, we've eliminated distractions and we've put focus back on learning, bringing up our next generation. As the governor said, we have improved our higher education system and we've made an historic investment in students by providing free breakfast for every child in the state of Arkansas. Every single one of these accomplishments was made possible because of the dedication and the trust that the people of Arkansas have placed in us. But I join the governor in also saying that we could not have done this both in the House and the Senate had it not been for the incredible staffs that labor for us every day, often in the shadows, never once asking for anything. They do a tremendous job. They put in late hours. And when many of us are exhausted at the end of the day, their work is not finished. And so to our staff, who helps us in committees and in our chambers across the board, thank you so much for the work that you do. You are a significant part of this team. Thank you for helping us help Arkansas. May God bless you all.